welcome to the Disney News Show. Here's your host, CruellasFurCoat.
Yes, this is the Disney News Show. I am Joe Worthington, aka CruellasFurCoat, and this is episode 65 for Sunday, the 3rd of February 2013. Now, I hope you're all having a fantastic week. I can hardly believe it is already February. I mean, where has January gone? It seems like that month has absolutely flown by. I mean, it was a month ago now, since I was at Disneyland Paris for New Year. I mean, I can hardly believe it has been well, it's been a month, but it seems like just yesterday I was there at Disneyland Paris. And I'm just going to let you into a little secret here. I'm actually going to Paris for this weekend, so I'm actually filming on the Friday of this weekend. So it's actually Friday the 1st of February right now. So sorry about that. I mean, I'm in Paris this weekend, so I can't film it on Sunday, obviously. I'm not in Disney. I'm not in Disneyland Paris. No, I'm not going over there again. But yeah, so that is that. So just forgive me if I missed something out. Maybe that's happened over the past 2 days. Sorry about that. But hopefully we're going to get you some pretty good, well, let you know some pretty good news. Quite a few things happening this week, especially we've got some Walt Disney World, Disneyland news, Disney movies news, some pretty good stuff there. So stick around till the end of that. Something just falling down at the back there. So there we go, sorry about that, I just sorted that out. But yes, we do have quite a bit of stuff coming up on the show. But before we get to the news, I've got a couple of things to show you. Actually, 3 new pins that I managed to get this week. The first 2, which I have here, are from the 13 Villains Countdown to the Reflections of Evil event happening at Epcot later this year. And the first one being number 4, Chernobog, if you can see that there, and number 5, Jafar. So these are the latest 2. I now have all 5. Cruella, Hades, Queen of Hearts, now Chernobog and Jafar. I'll show them all in a future video. But there we go, there's the latest 2. Very nice. Limited edition 750. Great stuff. I love these. I mean, you probably can't tell them out, make them out very well on there, but they are fantastic pins. I really love this series. So there we go. Hopefully I'll get all 13 of them. That'll be wonderful. Next up we have this well, one that came out in December in well, in the States at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. It is the 75th anniversary of Snow White and 7 Dwarfs, sorry. I had to get this one. Look at the wonderful picture. This is not focusing. Oh well, it's the Queen is there, and this here, where it says Snow White and 7 Dwarfs, there spins round to have Snow White on the side, so that's nice. And it says 75th anniversary at the bottom. I do like pins that have kind of anniversary for movies, that kind of stuff, of the classics, especially with the Queen like that. I mean, great. I mean, I love that pin. So yeah, they're just 3 new pins I got this week. Great stuff. And so let's get straight to the news. And first up, we're starting at Walt Disney World. And as part of limited time magic for Valentine's Day at Walt Disney World, the resort is going to be offering a number of candlelit dinners for 2 at some of the resort's restaurants. And each of these, well, there's 5 restaurants I believe, will have a fixed price per person menu. So it's going to be like a set menu, and there are 5 locations that I just said. First being the Hollywood Brown Derby, or Derby, I never know how to say that. That'll be $70 per person. Shutter is $35 per person. The Wave at $70 per person. Yachtman Steakhouse at $75 per person. And Artist Point with a price that I couldn't find, so sorry about that. But yeah, so a list of actually provisional menus can be found online, and I'll leave a link to that down below. But yeah, that is part of limited time magic that is coming to Walt Disney World from the 11th till the 17th of February. So next week, well, not this week, next week. So I'll remind you about that in next week's show. But there we go, yeah, Walt Disney World for Valentine's Day. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but there we go, that's what you can get up to in terms of if you're looking for a dinner for 2, then that is a great place to be. So there we go, limited time magic at Walt Disney World for Valentine's Day. Okay, next up, this past week, Disney has been providing My Magic Plus RFID enabled tickets to guests from the guest relations location guest relation locations at the different parks. And these have previously only been given to guests staying at Disney resorts. And however, it should now be the case that all guests who buy a ticket from the resort, from the guest relations, you know, outside the parks, are being given these RFID enabled tickets, which means you can use all those great features like just touching your ticket to the turnstiles and stuff like that. So, and then the touch to pay, you know, that's been rolling out at the different parks for these past couple of weeks, and so now they can be used by everyone who buys a ticket, either a single day, multi-day. Apparently they are all being given RFID ones, which is great news. I mean, we all saw this coming. It's always going to happen because it had been happening with the resort guests previously. But yeah, great news. I mean, I'm a big fan of this stuff, and I think it's great. So there we go. As far as we're aware, there is no news on when annual pass holders will be getting their tickets updated to include this RFID chip, because up to now they've not heard anything, and so we're still waiting on that news. But now if you do buy any tickets other than annual passes apparently, then you'll be getting the RFID enabled ones, so great news there. Okay, so next up at Walt Disney World for this week, Downtown Disney's new bowling alley and entertainment complex, Splitsville, has been added to Disney's Tables in Wonderland programme from this week, meaning everyone with Tables in Wonderland will receive 20% off at all the dining locations within Splitsville. So that is great news for anyone who uses Tables in Wonderland. They've currently not been available to use with that, but that's great. So personally, I've not had the chance to have a go at Tables in Wonderland, but it does sound great. I mean, 20% off all dining at the resort is great. So yeah, so now it can be used at Splitsville. Great news there for anyone who does use Tables in Wonderland. Okay, and finally, at Walt Disney World, just staying at Downtown Disney now, and the bus stop at Downtown Disney's Marketplace will be closing for refurbishment from today, that is February the 3rd, until February the 24th, well, just these next couple of weeks. And so that'll be just the one at the Marketplace. The stop in Pleasure Island will be still available during this time, so everyone who's going to Downtown Disney will have to go to the Pleasure Island stop, as there's not one at West Side anymore. So I think it's going to be slightly busy there, as you would expect, but just bear that in mind if you're heading to Downtown Disney at Walt Disney World during the next couple of weeks, because the stop at Marketplace will be closed. Okay, so moving on from Walt Disney World now to the Disneyland Resort, and it was announced this week that the new Fancy Fair in Disneyland's Fantasyland will be officially opening to guests on March the 12th. And this will include the Royal Theatre, where guests will have the chance to listen to retellings of classic Disney stories of Beauty and the Beast and Tangled, as told by a pair of Renaissance storytellers. So this sounds really interesting. I mean, it's great. We didn't kind of know about this Royal Theatre, but it's great that we do now know an official opening date, only just over a month away now, a month and a half until this opening date, and so that is wonderful news for anyone heading to to Disneyland during March or any time coming soon, that they will be able to enjoy this new experience, and so that is that. Fancy Fair looks absolutely awesome, and I'm very excited to see this this new show. Well, it's kind of apparently, well, it's in a theatre, so I'm guessing it's going to be quite dramatic, this retelling of their stories, and apparently they do get the characters, like the characters to come on and to help them tell the story, so that is going to be great. Like, you'll get Belle, you'll get Rapunzel and Flynn, so that'll be awesome, and so I'll bring you more news on that as it comes, but Fancy Fair is opening on March the 12th. Okay, moving on from Disneyland now, and we actually got some Adventures by Disney news. Now, this is something that I don't talk about often, but I thought it was something really quite interesting that was announced this week, and that is that 3 new tours for 2013 have been announced, which are specifically aimed at multi-generational families, and These are specifically tailored to the needs of groups travelling with older and younger family members. So maybe if you are have got little kids and maybe elderly family members with you, then these holidays would be perfect. And there's 3, as I mentioned. The first is in Italy from July 18th, then London and Paris, kind of one joint trip from July the 22nd, and finally a trip in Ireland from August the 13th. And so there we go, that is happening very soon actually. I thought this was, when I read it I thought it was going to be maybe next year, but there we go, Adventures by Disney announcing stuff for this summer. And another perk of these trips is that guests will have the luxury of travelling with a professional photographer on hand throughout their adventure, taking, obviously, great family photos. I think these ones are specifically aimed, as you would expect, at the family kind of, family holiday kind of thing. So there we go, just something to bear in mind if you're looking at an Adventures by Disney holiday in the time coming, specifically this summer. There you go, some 3 trips that are aimed at multi-generational families. So moving on from Adventures by Disney and the parks altogether now, and we're heading, well, into the Disney movies news. And first up, Disney has announced this week that their upcoming sci-fi movie from Damon Lindelof and Brad Bird will be renamed from 1952 to Tomorrowland. And as its name suggests, the film is apparently going to be about the Disney parks land with that same name, which of course gets me very, very excited. I'm a big fan of Tomorrowland, and I think that if they do decide to make a film about this, then it could be absolutely wonderful. It should be absolutely wonderful. And kind of given by the previous title of 1952, that was 3 years before Disneyland Resort opened in California, and so I believe this could possibly be about the Walt's aspiration of Tomorrowland, his vision, and from before Disneyland was open. And also the film is reported to be based on a box full of unexplained artifacts which is found in the Walt Disney Imagineering archives dating back to 1952, which obviously is that time that was currently that was previously going to be named the film, but that does suggest that it is going to be about the development of Disneyland, but more importantly Tomorrowland, and so it'll be interesting in what kind of direction they go in that. We obviously know that George Clooney is starring. We don't know much more about it, apart from now this box. And the pair of them, they actually tweeted a picture of this box, and it really did look like there was some quite cool and unusual items from Disney history in there. And so that is really, really great. But we have got to wait another, well, nearly 2 years really for this movie. December the 19th, 2014 is its US release date. So we don't know much yet, rightly so, really, given that it's so far away. But exciting news. I mean, let me know what you think. Are you excited about a Tomorrowland movie? I definitely am, and I am very, very excited to see what's happening here. So there we go. Information about Tomorrowland. Okay, next up in the movies news, some more information about the upcoming sequel to The Muppets, apparently now called The Muppets Again, has been released by Disney this week, including a synopsis and a couple of promo photos. And this looks really interesting. I mean, I'm a big Muppets fan. I think the movie from last year was wonderful, and I think doing a sequel is a good idea. I mean, yeah, I'm all up for the sequel. The Muppets Again as a title, I don't know. Personally, I didn't really think The Muppets 2 worked, but then I still don't think this works now. But thinking about it, I probably prefer The Muppets 2 over The Muppets Again, I don't know. But I guess they're just being different, aren't they? The Muppets are different, and they're wacky and weird and wonderful and all that kind of stuff. So they want to be different, and I guess The Muppets Again, it's something that's not been used before, and so there we go. But I'm now just going to read you the official description given by Disney, and it says that in The Muppets Again, the Muppets gang head out on a global tour, selling out grand theatres in some of Europe's most exciting destinations, including Berlin, Madrid and London. But mayhem follows the Muppets overseas as they find themselves unwittingly entangled in an international crime caper headed by Constantine, the world's #1 criminal and dead ringer foe, for Kermit, sorry, and his dastardly sidekick Dominic, aka number 2, portrayed by Ricky Gervais. And so that is what we've kind of been given. It sounds like there's going to be some kind of mystery, crime, spy kind of thing, I don't really know. Kind of gives you hints towards Cars 2 kind of thing. I don't think they'll go down that route again, given the reception that got, but it does sound very similar to what kind of description we got for Cars 2, travelling over the world. In that one we had Japan, Italy and England, so that was Cars 2, with this kind of spy chase mixed in. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. I mean, I was quite surprised when I did read this, but I think it'll be different from Cars 2, obviously, but it'll be good, and I really have high hopes for this movie, especially with Ricky Gervais. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Ricky Gervais, but I think with the Muppets he can do some great stuff, and very exciting to see what will come up there. And we have seen a photo of Kermit, Miss Piggy and Ricky Gervais, and that looks great. And another one with lots of the Muppets cast, including Walter, which is great news. I mean, I was really happy when I saw Walter. It's great to see that this is going to be a sequel to the original movie, and the fact that they're keeping Walter in it is going to be awesome. And they were both of these photos were set on the London Underground, which kind of suggests that that'll be play a part in the London scenes. So that is very interesting there. But yet again, we have quite a long time to wait. Not as long as Tomorrowland, but March 21st, 2014, just over a year to go. So it's not too bad, but very exciting stuff. Really, really looking forward to that one there. So that is some more news about the Muppets again, as it's being called. I'll bring you more as I get it. Okay, our final little bit of news, well, it's not really news, it's an announcement. Wreck-It Ralph is coming to UK cinemas this Friday. Yes, we are getting it this Friday, the 8th of February. I am so excited. Can you see how excited I am? I mean, we have waited months. I have waited months and months for this, and I cannot wait to see it on Friday. So there we go. Go out and see it. Anyone who's watching in the UK and has not yet had the chance to go and see Wreck-It Ralph, it's coming out on Friday. I'm so excited. I hope you are too, and I will bring you my thoughts next week. Well, actually, there's no point really, so you've all seen it in the US, and I don't know, but pretty much everyone else in the world has seen it apart from us. So, yes, but Wreck-It Ralph is coming out this Friday. The wait is over, we are getting it, and I'm very, very excited. So there we go. That is pretty much all the news for this week. I better go and calm down now, but there we go. So I hope you enjoyed it. This has been the Disney News Show, episode 65 for Sunday, the 3rd of February 2013, from me, Joe Worthington, aka CruellasFurCoat. Don't forget to tune in next week for next week's episode. That'll be out on the 10th of February. Also, don't forget to leave any comments, questions, any of your thoughts on anything I mentioned today. What we had, stuff on actually Tomorrowland, the Muppets that I've just mentioned, the My Magic Plus, maybe the limited time Magic Valentine stuff, any of that stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section. Send me a personal message if you would like to, or follow me on Twitter, tweet me, all that kind of stuff. I'm at CruellasFurCoat. Link down in the description box below. I love chatting to you guys on there, as you very well know, as I mention it every single week. But there we go. Yes, Twitter, great place to be. Go and check me out there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.